Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. So if you tuned into my last few where I was at the cabin and that big strange flying saucer looking thing, all of that stuff was filmed out there. The cabin is up in those hills over there. But while I was out doing that, I was on Google Earth and I found this place. So I'll take you guys around this spot. Interesting to say the least. So you see we got this piece here and that one there are clearly both the I'm gonna skedaddle down this hill really quick. All right, so like I was saying, they're clearly both the same structure as that big flying saucer looking thing that somebody told me in the comments was I think they said it was a clarifier. I don't know if they meant clarifier or classifier, but basically the ore material gets put in it and it's filled with, I believe, cyanide and some other stuff, but basically it helps separate the ore that they want from the rest of the material. Again, I'm not an expert. These are all just things I kind of understand based off of having watched other people's videos that do know what they're talking about. So shout out to those people. I'm sure if you watch my channel, you're probably familiar with some of those people, such as Gly from Abandoned and Forgotten Places, Tim, Desert Trails. Tim actually took my buddy and I out to some mines in Tacopa a few years back, and that kind of like got me really started on the wanting to do the YouTube thing. We didn't film anything and he didn't film anything that day, but it was cool of him to show us around. And then there's other channels like the Lost World Crew boys. My uncle turned me onto them pretty recently, and I enjoy some of their stuff, although their filming style is a little erratic sometimes, but they definitely find some cool stuff and get into some cool things. So shout out to all those guys. But yeah, anyways, I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but some interesting stuff here. This is all obviously modern. This isn't old. Some pretty burly steel. But this site's pretty big. There's a lot of barrels, like 55-gallon barrels over there, filled with who knows what. And there's concrete pads, a giant hole over there that's the size of a football field, big rectangular shape. And then what I really want to show you guys is over there. So I'll shut the camera off and we'll drive over there. All right, guys, I apologize if it's hard to hear me. It is pretty windy out here right now, but we were just over there. I'm now on the hill that's in the middle of the site. So we got this foundation here with the concrete and the dirt surrounding over there. It's pretty stained and it's got a very sulfury smell. I think there used to be a furnace right there. Right there's the big hole that's the size of a football field. I'll go over there in a little bit. Then you got a few other foundations over here. And then, like I said, a large collection of 55-gallon drums over here filled with who knows what. I'm gonna guess some of it had like some chemicals for processing the ore. It looks like some of the stuff might actually have ore in it, but I'll run down there and show you. And then when I was here last week or 2 weeks ago, I looked into one of those drums, and I'm not a rocket scientist, but I believe one of them is filled with ammonium nitrate, which to some you may know that as fertilizer, to some you may know that as a part of a mixture that makes things go boom. But let's run over here and check out these drums really fast. Again, I apologize if it's windy and you're having trouble hearing me. Hopefully everything comes through on the audio. I'm talking as loud as I possibly can without screaming. And I apologize if the camera work is not up to par. Again, I know it's hard or it's hard for me to be cognizant of what I'm filming while I'm trying to walk and look where I'm walking and try to take into consideration the view that you guys are gonna have on the screen. I'm trying to get better at it. But at the same time, I don't plan on getting any kind of crazy expensive camera equipment or getting too in depth into like editing and all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to keep this raw and as real as possible. So just doing my thing, being my authentic self. There is a lot of cow patties around here and cow tracks. I haven't seen any cows, but I do know this is a cattle ranching area. Got some old jars here with who knows what. That looks disgusting. Don't even want to know what that smells like. See, some of these drums. See, you have this black powder stuff. Actually, a lot of them have it. That one's empty. Trying to walk cautiously. It's perfect weather for the danger noodles to come out. Yeah, look, these things are just filled with whatever that is. Interesting. There's all kinds of remnants of stuff left out here. I'm guessing this spot was strictly for processing. Nothing was actually dug up here. And if I had to guess, because I've looked on Google Earth, those hills are filled with mines, some of which I'm sure were older, and then the modern companies came in to swoop up on whatever the old people missed. And on satellite image, it's very obvious that a lot of it's modern workings. A valve cover off of a motor. Yeah, this is an interesting sight, to say the least. The remnants of the stuff that's here. We got a old refrigerator, compressor tank, all kinds of random stuff. But I'll walk you over to the foundations, so I'll catch you over there. All right, so we're heading over to these foundations. You got this. That's where I was standing on top of that hill earlier. I'm gonna guess that they would back the trucks up there and pour material into this large cylinder when that was standing, and somehow that was part of the ore processing procedures. Again, I'm not an expert by any means on any of this kind of stuff. I'm also a little lazy to actually research and learn about it. I just enjoy coming to these spots because it's cool to get out and see this stuff. But yeah, here's where I think there was a furnace or something. Like I said, it's got a very sulfury smell. All the metal out here has been like cut and torched. I would imagine they probably took as much of the equipment as they could. And then also, you know, people come out here and cutting stuff off and trying to take it for scrap. Oh wow, the sulfur smell right here is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's probably not good to be around this. It's probably toxic. But nobody ever said I was smart. Spark plug. Walk up here and show you the hole since it's right here, and then go over to these other foundations. I don't know if you, On screen, it doesn't look as big and deep, but it's pretty deep. I'm gonna say if there was a 2-story house built at the base of that, the roof would be even with the ground I'm standing on, if not a little lower. And like I said, it's the length of a football field easily, 100 yards plus. So we'll head over here, check out these other foundations, just random bits and pieces of stuff laying about. Nothing too interesting, but still cool to see and try to use my best guess as to what they did at this facility. Obviously process the ore, but like all the ins and outs of it, it's cool to think about. Got like a light ballast there. These are probably workshops, storage buildings for equipment, maybe offices. I don't know how that all worked out here, if they had any kind of offices for like foremen or anything like that. Come over here and show you this one, just because I want to show you guys something cool. Although if you've been watching my stuff, you've probably already seen this, but I'll show you guys again. Let's see. Pick up this guy right here. Little pot to cook in. Come over here to this bad boy. Fire in a hole. It's pretty deep. I wonder if that's a septic tank, or you got a chair, some kind of cabinet, filing cabinet. It's pretty interesting. You know, there's a trail that goes off that way, one that goes off that way. This isn't too far from that other clarifier, whatever it's called. It's off in that direction, so maybe it was part of this facility. Or maybe they drug that from this one to that one to maybe move the facility. But the grand finale is going to be this interesting thing right here. Now, I don't know if this was made by the people that were at this mine, or if somebody came out here long after and made this, but by all means, I'm gonna guess they had it as a pond they probably had a well somewhere and they were pumping water here, but somebody took it upon themselves to, you know, bring a little pool ladder out here and put it there. And the surrounding area, they put rocks around these Joshua trees, like little landscaping and cactuses and whatnot. And then this one right here, they decided to put Christmas lights on. Now again, something tells me that wasn't part of the mining operation. That was somebody that came out here afterwards. Probably somebody filming their van life video and decided to make a cool little setup for Christmas. But yeah, very, very interesting. A pond or a pool in the middle of nowhere. Well, if you stuck around through all this talking, I appreciate it. Hope this inspires you to go on your own adventures, especially if you find my stuff annoying. Maybe you should just do it yourself instead of watching my stuff. Because that's the whole point of this channel, is me trying to inspire you guys to get out and explore on your own. So, yeah, get out there, get on an adventure. See you on the next one.